Everyone, Artemis Doom here with your next look into Marvel Future Fight's test build of the Black Widow update. Alright, so last time we looked at Red Guardian, who looks pretty great, but if you looked, you would also notice that a lot of his skills are geared towards PvP. What with having Pierce, Invincibility, very little defense down. I mean, I'm sure you can use it from anything, but it's just kind of my takeaway from it. This time we're going to jump to the main character for this update, Black Widow herself. Alright, so one of the first things I noticed right off the bat is that this new unit comes with an increased chain hit damage of 25% when attacking, just like a CTP of energy. So yeah, you probably could put another CTP of energy on her and make it just redundantly powerful, but also not have as many defenses as you need for PvP scenarios. But as we look through the rest of her skill set, you'll notice that there's a lot more effects happening that seem perfect for PvP. As this is a test build, all of the stats, buffs, debuffs are all subject to change. And as I am Netmarble's star agent, I am being compensated, and I do have to say that up front. I know I should have probably said it in like the first minute, but you know, hey, we're on a roll here, right? Alright, so next we're going to go with her passive, Tactical Advantage, that you unlock when you T2 her. You'll see that her increased guaranteed dodge rate has been bumped up to 35%. She has an increased lightning damage by 25%, and the increased skill damage by 25%, and bonus damage by 15%, which that last part is fairly standard for a lot of characters who T2. Skill 1 features both stun and bind. But you'll notice that it doesn't have ignores immunity to it, which means that it wouldn't work against world bosses. So it'll be even more perfect, once again, for PvP. So hopefully we'll see more Black Widows in Timeline. Skill 2 has another stun and paralyzing effect, 2 seconds of stun this time. Skill 3 is where the skills start to bump up a notch and get even more interesting. Not only does she once again stun you, but she has a pretty sizable attack boost by 35%, speeds by 1%, which is like pretty negligible, and all critical rate by 35%. It also removes incapacitation, so if you get fractured, this will be the best way to get yourself out of that jam. Now, skill 4 does 55% burn damage every 1 sec for 5 seconds. That's phenomenal. The stun is also, once again, seems like standard for every move, pretty good. But it's the next part. The paralysis that ignores immunity for 2 seconds. It's just like Magneto's, and I think one other character has it. It also gives her a 100% chance immunity for all damage for 6 seconds, which is perfect amount of time to activate the skill, cycle out someone else's invincibility, and move on to your next skill. Skill 5. 55% burn damage every 1 sec for 5 seconds, 45% shock damage every 1 sec for 5 seconds, and then to yourself, you get ignores target's dodge rate by 100%. So this move is hitting. You get 100% chance to penetrate. That's Pierce. That is amazing. That's Jean Grey level of skill. Not many characters have that much Pierce in the game, at least for a skill set. 35% increase of all attacks is also a pretty great boost, especially for 10 seconds, so you could probably chain this attack into something else, but it is a fairly long attack, which, yeah, you know what, let's show it off, right? We'll go off after the next passives. Another dodge rate increase, 35% increase of physical attack. You unlock that passive at rank 4. And her leadership itself is actually pretty, it's one of those early leaderships where, I guess for whatever reason, tagging your allies and increasing speed was a better boost than any type of physical attack damage or something more useful. Now her T3, it kind of seems bare compared to some T3s, but adding this with a 5, you get invincibility for 8 seconds, you get ignores target's dodge rate by 80%, that's pretty great. It removes all debuffs, and it even procs the attack for 50%. Adding that to the continued damage of the T3 itself, it's a phenomenal maneuver. Let's check it out. So if you were in battle, right? Which is great. Remember that one does stun and bind. This one, another stunning attack. You notice that her skills all have a pretty sizable iframe and length to them, so you can probably let them play out without having to cancel. 4, look at that. Look at that continued skill, right? And so that ignores paralysis. So they're still right. It ignores immunity to paralysis. So whoever you do this on, it's hitting them. They're paralyzed. And all you need is that 2 seconds to nail your 5, which has 100% pierce rate. That is incredible. And you can chain that right into the T3. Dude, if you hit anybody with this, it's over. I'd recommend CTP of Authority with Nat for this. And she'll be meta in no time. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Tomorrow we'll be moving on to Yelena Belova, the second Black Widow. And then later we'll start moving into some of the new changes that we have for the game.